Welcome to Lightboard Learning, where we break down coaching principles. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about calculating total daily energy expenditure, which is going to be a prerequisite to figuring out any macronutrient calculations, which so many coaches are quick to rush to. So TDEE, there's a simple equation that you can follow when you're working with your clients to get a rough idea of how many calories they need to be consuming to be able to maintain the body weight that they're at. Now, please take this with a grain of salt and remember that these numbers are never perfect in a real life situation. And the most important thing that you can do as a coach is collect data, so know how much your clients are eating if you are working with them on food quantity and trying to alter body composition, and be tracking any progress and results so you can see if things are actually trending in the direction that you want them to. So for today's calculation, I've got 4 numbers that are going to help me figure out TDEE. The first one is BMR, or their basal metabolic rate, and that is, how much energy they need just to live. If they were to lay on a couch all day, do no moving at all, how much food do we need to give them so that their internal organs don't all shut down and they're able to keep living? Kind of important. So in an ideal world, you'll have access to something like an in-body to get a really good measurement of BMR for your client. Most people don't, and that's okay. A really easy measurement you can use is taking their body weight in kilograms and timesing it by 20. So body weight in kilos times by 20, that is going to give you BMR. Next to that, we have TEF, or the thermic effect of feeding, and that is how much energy it's going to take for them to actually break down and digest the food that they're eating, and that is important to calculate in TDEE. So for TEF, what we're going to do is just times their BMR by 0.1. EEE, or exercise energy expenditure. I apologize, guys. That's a lot of E's. That is going to be a rough idea of how much they are burning through exercise. Now, for someone who is just doing fairly light to moderate exercise, you might factor in something like 250. For a more active client doing more tough sessions, it might be closer to 500. So think 250 to 500 over here. And then on the right-hand side, NEAT, or NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that's going to be what they're burning just from walking around and moving around throughout the day. Again, roughly 250 to 500 on that side, just depending on how active they are. So let's do a quick calculation now. I'm going to take a client 80 kilos in body weight. And so for this client, their BMR, I'm going to go 80 times 20, which is going to give me 1600. So my BMR here is 1600 cals. On the right side here, TEF, I'm going to times this 1600 by 0.1. So that is going to give me an extra 160. Now this client, fairly inactive, works out just light to moderate amount 3 times a week. So for EEE, I'm going to give him 250. And then for NEAT as well, we're going to say 252. He works a desk job. He's not moving around a lot. So these 4 numbers, I'm going to add them together, and that is going to give me his energy expenditure over a day, the TDEE. And that is going to be a total of 1600 plus 500 is going to be 2100 plus 160, 2260. And that is where I'm going to start for him with his caloric intake over a day. Now, I hope this is helpful and you can go and apply it to your clients. Any questions, please drop them in the comments.